Okay, let's go on the 5-minute auto pairing. So Mackdon 2160. I think maybe try King's Engine. Is he going to play E4? D6? Thinking about it. Has he been doing... Actually, my history is not working at the moment. I better not use that. It crashes my ICC. I don't know what I've done to my... I've corrupted my PGN files. I think too much bullet chess on the ICC recently. And I've got a file corruption or something. I can't use the history command, neither of myself or anyone else at the moment. Which is a shame. If you happen to know how to sort that one out, please let me know. So I might be threatening B4 here. I varied from a more standard sort of plan. Okay, that stops things in its tracks, it seems. Can I use this knight? Go to maybe C4. So knight B6. Then knight C4 might be useful. Or is he going to blast me with E5? Aha. Okay. That's interesting. I think D5 could be vulnerable. If I yeah. Or maybe B4, pawn sack. Take. Okay. Maybe not. I think just knight B6 and then bishop B7. Or maybe what else is there? Oh, I think I'm gonna have to do this. Put pressure on D5. Okay, fair enough. So bishop C6 is a problem. Okay. If I try and get this pawn back, would I end up with a good position? That's the question. Aha, except with the queen here. So we're losing the knight. So, if he castles knight c4, looks quite tasty as tasty goes in this sort of position, because that knight on c4 threatening e3 b2, that looks okay. It looks like position didn't come from the King's Engine. The centre's so blasted open here. I don't really want to draw. I want to play. I want to play on from this position. I wonder if there's an option to stop all draw offers. Knight b2 wins a pawn. There's net for queen c3. There's rook c1. I think it still looks very tempting. What would happen after that? Knight c4. I'm going to take that. If knight b5 though, queen c2, possibly. Okay. So pawn up. But this pawn majority might be quite hard to do something with. But it just seems a comfortable position for the fianchetto here. His a pawn could be dangerous, guided by this bishop here on a7. Try and get this a pawn, I think, top priority. Keep some forcing moves available to me just in case. Ties down the knight in any case. Okay. Try and do something about this. Now knight d5, just to try and get rid of that defensive bishop. Try and get behind this pawn somehow. I just drive this pawn down the board. Surely it's going to be munchable. It can be a weakness. It goes to b8 though. There, that could be a problem. So what about, because because there's rook b8. So what about rook b4 here for a moment? Am I risking it too much? Possibly. That knight c3 is interesting. Rook b7. Okay, how would I get to this pawn without losing too much time? Think that if I just chase it down here, don't I just get that pawn? Because there's rook a7 at the end of all that, surely. Just keep attacking this pawn for a moment. The knight's loose though. He could try attacking the knight at some point here. Right here. Okay, so there's knight c3 or knight c7. Knight c7. That seems good. This a pawn might be a goner. So I can take here, but I'm going to lose e7. So what if I protect? There's knight d4 coming up. Okay. Will I get rid of his a pawn or not? That's the question. I could play e5 to stop knight d4s. Then if a7 there, it's pretty dangerous. So I think the a pawn's a bit of a menace. Let's get rid of it in a safe way without losing a piece. On rook c7, rook a1 check. So okay, to this position. So if I try and check and get my rook to the 7th for a sec. So I'm attacking f2, get my knight to maybe e4 later. He's a bit down on the clock, but knight g5, there's rook f2. Okay, maybe I should stop that for a moment. I want to play knight c5. Knight would be useful on e4 here. Tactically it is anyway, for knight e4 check right now. Knight e4 is going to win a pawn, but first let's stop the king f4. So knight e4 is going to be useful. There's a bit of clock pressure to deal with. Knight e4 here is not particularly useful, but what about rook? Just rook d2 to keep my eye on f2. If check here, then knight e4 after. Keep my eye on d6. He's got rook d6.
Check.
Rook d6 simplifies, doesn't it? No, I can take and then knight e4. That's fun. If I just take the knight, then knight e4 after.
Check.
So take the knight here. That's a lot of fun. Rude tactical awakening.
Check. Check.
Okay. Get the knight out of danger because otherwise g4 check there would have been. Okay, so try and avoid losing this knight. Try and get the king away from my pawns, actually keep the opposition here. Then play for f5. Maybe slowly.
Check.
Go for his pawns. Right, if I keep my pawns intact, or try to, that wasn't a particularly hot idea. Okay, so knight here to stop g3, I'll end up losing g5. Too much counterplay. What have I done? So knight f1 to stop g3. Okay, might still be in it here, but I'm pushing my luck. So if I play check here,
Check.
and take this, just hold on to my pawn here. Dear life, that's my only winning thing. So you can go back to h5. If I just take on g4, if I just take on g4 here, my king's the right side of the pawn.
Check.
Okay, I'll check him here. Try and keep this king out. Okay, maybe not there.
Check.
Okay, I think just knight e6 actually. Then king g3, just let the knight go. Yeah, I think that's the way. But okay, a very exciting game. As it turned out with his a pawn. So after getting that pawn back, sometimes it's the case there's a little bit extra than getting material back. And it was here, but this a pawn was quite dangerous as it turned out. So here he's on e7. That's nice for him to have. It's a little tactical trick with the king a little bit more exposed, coming to defend f2. This tactical resource important.
Check.
Very important here, just to be able to take that. Okay, comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.